what is the Innovation Lab? So the Innovation Lab is going to be a completely open source technology based lab environment within CalCloud that's going to be made available to the state to be able to come in and experiment, test, potentially deploy purely open source technology solutions. And this is a huge sort of leap, right? A lot of us have been kind of raised on this mentality of COTS, where it's a closed source technology. We get it. We can't do much more with it. The reason, or one of the reasons behind us wanting to move towards sort of this more of an innovation posture using open source technology is that we realize there's a lot of talent within the state. There's a lot. And we want to start to be able to tap into that, tap into folks that have expertise in Python programming, expertise in PHP, expertise in other sort of open technologies to be able to help us build more relevant and sustainable solutions for the state. And the way that we're going to facilitate doing that, again, is the development of this Innovation Lab. Now, the Innovation Lab itself, the technology that it's going to run on initially is from Red Hat, and it's called OpenShift. I'd encourage you to go out and check this out. OpenShift is a application development technology, or let's say platform that you enable as a platform as a service within your own cloud environment. And within that, you have the ability to provision virtual machines, set up your own kind of sandbox or playground, and then select from hundreds of open source technologies in what they call containers to be able to build and develop applications to your heart's content. The whole idea behind this is that we want to give a place where people can feel okay about failing. You know, that's sort of a strange thing to say, but it's a lab. You need to be able to experiment and build. So, for example, if you or other folks within your organization have an interest in developing a technology solution that you want to work in a low-risk environment and be able to test some of these solutions out, the Innovation Lab is going to allow you to do that. So we're very excited about this. I can share with you a little bit in terms of when this is going to come and how you can start to participate within it. So we're looking at a late July release of the Innovation Lab. We're going to be doing a soft release of this. So we're not going to open the doors completely to every department within the state, just straight ahead. But we've identified a few early adopters and partners that want to work with us to be in there first. So that's going to be late July. The way that you'll do this is very simple. I didn't want this to be this big, painful, bureaucratic process where you fill out form after form after form. It's going to be a simple service request. Many of you are used to doing that anyway. You'll work with your customer delivery division rep. If you don't know who that is, we can certainly get you in contact with them. You'll fill out an SR, and there's going to be certain requirements within that SR. Number one, who are you? Where are you from? What are you trying to solve? The idea behind this lab is that I don't want this environment to be a place where people just goof around just for the sake of just tinkering around and building some high school science project. I want them to come in here and have a definable business problem that their organization is facing. I want them to provide a short proposal on how they, sort of decide to look at solving that. And then once some of those requirements are met, then we give you the keys to the house. I don't want this to be a painful process. I want it to be very simple. So that's what will happen. You'll submit the SR. You'll fill out a very easy web form. It'll come to the Office of Digital Innovation Technology Engagement. We'll review. We'll give thumbs up or thumbs down based on the criteria that we're requiring for admittance into the Innovation Lab. And then you're off. You're off and running. The initial time period that we're going to allow folks to be within the lab is 120 days. After 120 days, you can seek to get an extension. You just let us know. I'm not going to be a tyrant about it. because I don't want to stave off creativity. I don't want to stave off innovation by putting sort of a limit on things. But putting that 120-day time period in there, roughly, what's that, 4 months? I think it's plenty of time to at least plant the seed of what you're trying to do. So let's take an example. Let's say GoBiz comes in and they start building out some really interesting tool for economic development in the state. They go through, they build it, they've tested it, they're ready to go to deploy it. They have a choice. They could choose to deploy that on their own servers. They could deploy it in Cloud. They can just take the code out and do other things with it. But the one requirement that we will have out of the Innovation Lab is that you then push that code to GitHub. And the reason we want to start building a very, very powerful GitHub presence within the state of California is because we're tired of reinventing the wheel over and over and over again. We want to be able to make this code shareable and documented and referenceable. If there's a question you might have, call Tom Boone. Tom Boone will have it because Tom's the guy who put it up there, right? So I think maybe if you're reading between the lines, what we're trying to do is build not only upon the great work that's being done in sort of the webmaster community, what's being done in open source, but also now this innovation track that we're trying to go down, build a very conscious approach to efficiency and innovation in California. And a really, really strong platform to do that is going to be this Innovation Lab, coupled with the idea that we're doing everything in the open. All the code we develop, everything that we create, we want to then share that more broadly with the general public and the developer community in the state. It doesn't even have to be within the state of California. I mean, GitHub's open to everybody. So anyway, I'm really, really excited about this. The first rollout of this will be just for state of California. So ca.gov entities. After that, there are some conversations with partnering with some industry partners to kind of help us take it to that next level. Red Hat has been very interested in being part of an advisory board that I'm looking to set up. There are other private sector entities as well that want to be part of the advisory board. I'm also very much considering having a citizen representative who's civically minded, technologically adept, to be able to sit on the advisory board to give us direction in terms of how we can move the Innovation Lab forward. This is like, I don't know, this is a little bit different than I think most of us are used to operating. I'm trying to pull in that real civic engagement aspect of this, and that a true public-private partnership. It almost seems cliche, but I'm really trying to drive that notion forward with the Innovation Lab. So there's going to be much more to come with this. We'll be doing, of course, some press releases around this and more information to come. But I wanted to make sure I announce that to everybody because I think the folks I'm speaking to today here in person and online would have a distinct interest in what we're doing there. So with that, are there any questions related to the lab? Yeah.
Will there be a cost?
Zero cost. Zero cost. Yep. Departments will not be charged any money to come into the Innovation Lab. Yep. Anything else? Any other questions? No? How about online? Nothing?
No questions online so far.
Great. Okay. So again, I want to reiterate a couple of things. On ca.gov, we have comments at state.ca.gov. If you have any comments or concerns or questions or feedback, by all means, you can reach out through the East Services. Is it Michael? What's the email, Michael, for the East Services one that goes to?
info.eservices@state.ca.gov.
Okay, everybody get that?
It's the same email that we make announcements for the WUG for. So
Okay.
if you reply to that, it'll go to that inbox.
Yeah. And, if you have any feedback, by all means, please share it with us. More to come on open data. You're going to be seeing the state's open data platform come very soon by end of summer. You saw the pilot, which was the Green Gov Challenge. We're switching gears a bit on that, going with a purely open source, just kind of seeing the theme here, open sourced platform that's going to be made available towards the end of this summer. So lots of good things coming. So thank you for your time. Appreciate it.